So many of us see the actions that we do or the words that we say as being the most important ways we are showing up in the world. But in reality, it's actually the thoughts and beliefs you have about yourself that are making the largest impact on absolutely everything around you. Welcome to the Love Your Brain podcast, the podcast designed for everyday people who are ready to hop off the negative thought hamster wheel and enjoy a less hostile environment in their own brains. Our brains are where we live our entire lives, and I'm on a mission to help people see that they have everything that they need to make it a happier place to be. So join us for this episode of the Love Your Brain podcast. Let's get started. Welcome back to the Love Your Brain podcast, or welcome if you're new. I don't know where you're at in the country, but for me, we are currently recording after a tornado just went overhead. So it's been a wild evening, but I'm so excited to bring you this episode. Now, for those of you that have been following along on this journey the past couple months, I recently decided to invest in myself and take some courses specifically focused on neuroscience, energetics, and intuition. It has quite possibly been the best investment I have ever made as an adult, and I'm still very much so in the trenches of learning all of this. But it's really been a mind-blowing experience. It feels like every day I wake up and another puzzle piece of neuroscience is getting pieced together. It's like for the longest time, I had all these separate sections of knowledge from my social work background, from my coaching background, but now all of these are being put together to help me see the entire picture of how our brains are working. And I love it. I love it so much. It's challenging me in new and different ways. But the thing I keep coming back to is that I have always made it a goal every year to go back and review the things that I believed wholeheartedly the year before and really challenge myself to grow each year so much that I look back and I really feel like I can totally change those beliefs in this next year. I basically play devil's advocate for myself and challenge myself every year to say, well, what if that belief that I believed last year isn't actually true any longer for me? It's been a liberating and challenging experience, but I do think it's helped me grow in a lot of ways that I never would have otherwise. And if you haven't listened to that specific episode before, pause this, go check that one out. It's called Pillars of Belief. It goes over the entire exercise that I do regularly. So, this experience, this new education and training I'm doing, it really feels like this exercise that I do with the pillars of belief, but times a million. Like I'm having to face every thought, every belief, every little subconscious thing in my brain, take it apart piece by piece and unpack it. Why is that thought there? Why is that belief there? Is it true? Is it something I want to hold tightly to and stand firm on? Or is that belief something I'm ready to let go of? I know this probably sounds super vague and abstract, but in some ways, so has this whole exercise. For example, lately I've been struggling with this tension that I feel between what I'm learning about the brain and how important self love is, but also really challenging my own beliefs about how I should feel about others, about the world around me. Like, where in priority should others land? And this is something I think all of our brains struggle with regularly because a lot of our brains have been programmed to believe that our worth, our value lies in how we show up for others. I mean, come on, I've been a social worker, a mom, a daughter, a spouse, a dog owner, a boss, so many roles where I believed my value lied in how I prioritized the needs of others or the needs of anything outside of myself. If you ask in any of these contexts what makes a person good in that role, it's a pretty easy programmed answer, right? Well, a good social worker provides quality services to her clients. A good mom takes care of her kids well. A good daughter makes her parents proud. A good spouse loves her partner well. A good dog owner takes care of the needs of her pet well. A good boss makes sure the needs of the company are met. Every role typically is defined by how you show up in that role for someone else. Okay, stick with me, all right? We're going somewhere with this. Lately, I have been challenged to really change this programming because I am, in fact, seeing the science behind it on paper and in real life. That in fact, the equation is a good XYZ person is someone who loves themselves well enough that they just naturally show up well in any role they take on. And to make this even crazier, how they perform in that role is actually minimally important. And that sounds inaccurate, but in reality, the science, the math of it all proves it to be true. It is much more important how the individual feels about how they are showing up in any given moment than how they are actually showing up. What actually determines outcomes more than anything is how that individual sees themselves. And I know we've all heard, you can't pour from an empty cup, la la la. But this is way deeper than that. This is an almost caveman prioritization of self above all else. Like seeing that if for 1 second you lose grip with the belief that you are the most important person to yourself, it starts to impact every area of your life within hours. And if you have been running around like a chicken with your head cut off for too long, which most of us are guilty of, you might totally miss it. But even in simple, very basic ways, your body feels when you are making choices that don't scream, I am important and I am valuable. Things like pushing your limits physically or mentally in a way that is harmful very quickly turns into a headache, a stomach ache, a backache. You name it, it's all connected. The thoughts you have about your lack of importance and your actions that you are taking to confirm that thought to be true by putting yourself last actually causes harm to your physical body. Or when you're not paying attention and that old negative belief about yourself creeps in and you let it take hold a little bit too long and it starts to impact how people see you at work, how often your friends ask to hang out, or whether or not you get seated at the best table at the restaurant. And this is quite literally neuroscience and the laws of the universe that are determining how all of this plays out. You can't be sitting there stewing on how badly you really messed up that presentation to your boss and then be able to show up and have a bunch of positive interactions with people after. Because those thoughts about yourself quite literally impact the energy that is being broadcast from your brain to the other brains around you. The brains that you come in contact with will pick up on it and treat you different because of that self loathing session you had hours earlier. And if you do have a positive interaction, it's likely just a little gift you're given from the universe trying to keep things in balance so you don't fall off into a self loathing abyss, but we'll talk more about that another time. So, needless to say, this has completely changed how I show up in the world. So many of us see the actions that we do or the words that we say as being the most important ways we are showing up in the world. But in reality, it's actually the thoughts and beliefs you have about yourself that are making the largest impact on absolutely everything around you. An easy way to see this is whatever you think about yourself, see that as a pair of glasses that you're wearing. These glasses that kind of view yourself in a specific way. These glasses are the thoughts and the beliefs that you have about yourself as a person. And when you go out into the world and you encounter a person, you are passing those glasses to the next person. That person at the checkout, that person who's cutting you off in traffic, your kid's soccer coach, everyone who engages with you and engages with the field of energy around your brain. The person at the checkout, the person who cut you off in traffic, your kid's soccer coach, everyone who engages with the energy field your brain is putting out there is taking on those beliefs as well. They are putting on those same glasses. So if your glasses help you to see that you are always forgetful, you grew up being told you're always forgetful and it's ingrained in your subconscious that you are a forgetful person. The people you interact with will actually reflect that back to you. They will put on those glasses that say you are forgetful when they see you and reflect that back to you. Now, that is an uber simplified version of that whole energetic exchange, but I hope it helps to at least give you the framework to see how your thoughts about yourself impact literally everything around you. And once I understood the science of all that, it changed a lot for me. Like now I actually see that there is literally more damage being done when I just keep pushing forward when I feel depleted. I'm going to suffer those effects in my body and in how others treat me for hours, days, even years if I keep up that pattern. And for me, as someone who always thought they came to this planet to help others, this information has really challenged me. It's pushed my limits of understanding and really just how I see the entire world. I've gone from my first thought being, what's the right thing to do from a self sacrificing lens, to how can I care for myself in the way I need right now, even with this demand right in front of me? How can I keep choosing to care for myself, make my own needs a priority, always first before anything else? And I don't mean in ways that always have to be like grand things, but even in small things. Like someone in the other room calls me for help, like, hey, can you come help me with this? But I notice my lips are really chapped. Am I just gonna be like, oh, screw it, I'll just go help them and take care of this later? Or do I pause for a second, put my chapstick on, and then go take care of that need that person has? I'm learning to do that, but it's not always felt natural. And you might be wondering why something like this is what I'm focused on in these neuroscience courses. But that is because I have seen on paper and in evidence that the biggest determining factor for how my life will play out is how I am thinking about myself. Truly, what all of this studying and practicing has done has helped me realize that my goals are changing, and that can feel really destabilizing at times. But now my goals look more like radically prioritizing myself and seeing how I can show up for others as just an added bonus. That happens when I feel my best and I think the best about myself. And I will say, if you have ever been a part of any kind of community, a faith community, a community in your neighborhood, a family, or really any group of any kind, this idea probably feels foreign. Because in so many aspects of our culture, we are taught to put others before ourselves. So prioritizing yourself above all else feels so incredibly strange in many ways. It almost seems barbaric. But that's actually the best thing that you can do on this planet is use your time here to make yourself feel like the most special thing that has ever walked this planet. Because, well, frankly, you are. You are created special and unique in ways that no one else ever will. And own that every weird, kind of strange, quirky thing in all the ways that only you can do. And why is that the best thing ever? And not in like an a-hole kind of way, but in a quietly powerful and inspiring way. I really hope as I continue on this journey of growing my knowledge of the brain, of energy fields, intuition, all these fun topics, I hope to be able to bring you even more helpful content here than ever before. But I also hope that you can have some patience with this growing process I'm in. I'm challenging everything I've ever shared here on this podcast and asking myself, is that still true? Because for some of it, it's a no. And some of it I'm still unpacking. But it's a beautiful process that I hope continues because I never want to get to a place where I feel like where I'm at is just fine and that I can just stick with what I believe for the rest of my life. Frankly, that would be no fun at all and not helpful to any of you. So let's all keep growing day by day and challenging our own beliefs one by one. I have so much more on the agenda to share with you all in the coming weeks and expanding what I will be able to offer you as well. So make sure that you are subscribed to this podcast and sharing this podcast with every cool person you know. Because you know what? Some of the coolest people you know don't realize how cool they are. And they leave a whole lot untapped. So send them this episode. Tell them that you think they're the best thing since sliced bread and hope that they start believing it too. All right. Have a great week, guys. I hope you found something helpful here today on the Love Your Brain podcast. Maybe a laugh or a feeling of validation, or maybe just a few moments to have company while you do your laundry. Whatever you take from it, I hope you enjoyed your time and leave feeling empowered to be more you every day. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on the next episode, and leave a review. I'd love to hear what you think. Have a great one.